joy, peace, and happiness. These are things other people have in their lives. For me, I have hell in my life. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can't teach my dog any tricks. He just wants to be left alone. I left my cell phone on the bus. And when I called it, the bus driver said, "Yes, I do remember you. And that's why I'm not giving your cell phone back to you." You ever meet people and years later you kind of wonder whatever did happen to them? I mean, lime is supposed to preserve them, right? Does anybody need a ride home after the show? I'm really looking forward to giving you one. If you ever go around scared and you never think you're safe, you'll always be afraid. Look at me. I'm brave. Can't you tell? They say perception is everything. I often wonder what people perceive me as being. The Undertaker or the serial killer? Today, I'm celebrating the first anniversary of my mother-in-law being lost at sea. And if she was your mother-in-law, you'd be celebrating too. I drove my car down the street, and I was stopped by a police officer for having a headlight out. He looked at me and he said, "You look pretty creepy tonight." Do I? I always think of myself as being a really smart guy. And yet, people who know me say, "Joe, you're kind of slow." I wonder what they see in me that I don't. I went to Nordstrom's to return a shirt. The sales girl asked me if I had a receipt. I looked at her and I said, "Don't you remember me from last week?" She said, "Oh yes, as hard as I've tried to forget about you, I just can't do it." At my house, down in the basement, I've got a few odds and ends laying around. Just for fun. I went through the drive-thru at In-N-Out Burger in a taxi. It cost me $50. Joan of Arc was burned at the stake. And you know, there's people who would like to do that to me. Can you imagine that? From LA, I drove 1,600 miles to my hometown to surprise my parents. And as soon as I got there, my father said to me, "Son, your mother and I are glad to see you. How soon are you leaving?" You've been a great audience. Thank you for that, my judge.